Oh, yeah. Welcome to the show. Yeah. Dave and Johnny live. Yeah.
So this time it's the end of November.
What do you mean?
Last time I said this was the last show for November. Now this is the last show for November.
Yeah, you botched last time. We're back. This is the last show of November. You thought last week was, even though we have a calendar sitting right in front of us.
Well, it's a new calendar now, actually. So
Yeah, I revamped the calendar. I'm actually going to post that calendar to Twitter or Instagram because it's a good calendar for any pro wrestling and MMA fan because it's got all the events on it. I'm going to take a picture of it. What do you think? Good idea?
You never post
the
anything.
official Ringside Report calendar?
You never post photos, so yeah. Your Instagram's kind of dead, so you should post something.
My Instagram is super whack, and you can follow me at Dave Simon MMA on Twitter and Instagram. Follow Johnny North at Genesis Johnny North on Instagram. His Instagram is pretty good. A lot of pictures of him looking muscular, so there's
Because
that.
I am. Yeah.
Yeah. But you're like shirtless in the pictures, doing wrestling things. Johnny North is a pro wrestler, in case you didn't know. This is Dave and Johnny Live. We do this show every week, every Friday. Like the channel, subscribe, or like the video, subscribe to the channel, right? That's what you're supposed to do?
You should.
Yeah. And then what do you do? The bell, right?
You should click the bell.
Yeah. Why?
Because then you get the notifications right away.
Whenever we're on. We did Survivor Series. We had a Survivor Series watch along. A lot of you joined us for that. It was a lot of fun. Survivor Series, I thought, very good this year. Some people didn't like it. I liked it.
They kind of screwed it up, though, when you think about it. It should have been 3-3 going into the last match. Raw didn't need to win a match, right? Because Raw sucks. So, why did Raw have to win one? Raw shouldn't have won one. So that way, the main event, you would have cared a little bit more about the last match. So they screwed it up in the end.
Why?
It should have been 3-3 in the end. And then 4-3 NXT.
You mean 3 for NXT and 3 for SmackDown?
Yeah.
Because it was 3 for NXT, 2 for SmackDown, and 1 for Raw going into the final match, right? As far as wins on the card and head-to-head competition. So, yeah, you're saying give that win to Raw.
SmackDown.
Which was what, the Viking Raiders in the triple threat tag?
New Day should have won that one.
Right. And then SmackDown and NXT at least could be competing.
Right.
Bayley and Becky would be out of the running. Even though she was, I don't know, the brand supremacy thing didn't really work. It was confusing. NXT won in the end. And at a certain point, we realized, NXT has won this thing. It's over. Like, NXT wins the brand supremacy stuff. This is just about Becky and Bayley and Shayna. And the match was, that's what people were complaining about. A lot of people tuning in for the main event, not too happy about it.
Well, I think it took away from the heat because there was no thing to care about. Because it didn't really matter who won the match, right?
Right.
So they screwed that up. It
didn't matter at all.
It should have been 3-3. They screwed it up.
It wasn't good.
Well, it was still a good pay-per-view. It's just the main event probably didn't deliver the way people expected it to, but still a good show in the end.
Yeah, I like the 5-on-5-on-5 men's Survivor Series match. The women's match was good too. The Pete Dunne match there against Adam Cole was very good. AJ Styles, Roderick Strong, Shinsuke Nakamura had a good showing. I thought even Daniel Bryan and The Fiend did well. The Fiend, I don't think he's that great, but with Daniel Bryan, he's so good. He brings out a good match in anybody, right?
Brock and Ray, too.
Brock and Ray was good for what it was. There were points where I believed Rey Mysterio was going to win.
Well, when Dominic came out, if he was going to win, it was there.
That's it. They started hitting Brock with all sorts of weapons. You think, maybe here it is, but didn't happen.
Well, they gave him a nice surprise on Raw. That's nice.
How long does this Brock title reign last? We're going to talk about that on Wrestling Uncensored, which you can watch on the YouTube channel. You can listen to on your radios. It'll be up tomorrow morning, up every Saturday morning on the channel. We're going to talk about that on Wrestling Uncensored. Brock Lesnar, his title reign. We'll also talk about Seth Rollins turning heel. Kevin Owens potentially being the top babyface on Raw now, which is kind of cool.
Kind of is, I think.
What does that mean? What does that mean for Kevin, for Brock? Rey Mysterio becoming the new U.S. champion? I thought Raw was fantastic this week, by the way. I thought WWE did a really good job of continuing on with their momentum from Survivor Series and putting together a really good episode of Raw.
I thought it was good. I wouldn't say it was fantastic, but I enjoyed it.
AJ Styles and Rey Mysterio?
Yeah, but you had the 4-way. Like, it probably could have been a better match if Ray didn't already wrestle a match, you know?
Yeah, but that match was good too. The 4-way was good.
Yeah, that's
Randy and Drew and Ricochet.
Right? It was a good match, and you can only imagine how good AJ and Ray could have been if it was, like, fresh.
You know Triple H is the guy doing Ricochet's thing? One and only.
That's nice.
I was listening to Ricochet's theme song because my son likes wrestling theme songs, and he likes when I play them.
I know he likes Finn Balor.
Yeah, he likes the music, so he demands Ricochet. He also does like a Ricochet pose. He likes Ricochet because he flips around, you know?
He's got a suit, too.
Yeah. So I was listening to the Ricochet theme song, and there's points where Triple H is just saying, Ricochet. And it really sounds like he's saying Rick O'Shea. Like the guy's name is Rick O'Shea. Like he's an Irish guy or something. And I think that'd be a fantastic gimmick for somebody to do on the indies. Somebody who can flip. You know, you call yourself Rick O'Shea, R-I-C-K, first name, O'Shea, last name, O''S-H-E-A. Rick O'Shea.
Okay.
That's my wrestling name, all right? Nobody steal it. Or somebody steal it because I'm not going to wrestle. I mean, who are we kidding? Somebody steal it. There you go.
You give
Rick O'Shea. I think that would be hilarious. It'd be like, is your name Ricochet? No, it's Rick O'Shea. Ricochet? No.
There you go. You got Zev's gimmick when he grows up.
It's a good gimmick. Rick O'Shea. You do flips. You're like Ricochet. You have the same name, but you don't. You're different.
I don't know if Zev's going to be doing flips, but we'll see what happens.
No, he's going to be like 6'7".
Well, there you go. I don't know if he's going to do flips then.
No flips. Well, unless he's like the Viking Raiders.
Still, like...
My son's also a big fan of the Viking Raiders. He says they do the best flips. That's what he says to me.
Okay. Cool.
He's 2 years old, big fan of the Viking Raiders and Ricochet. He knows his wrestling, this kid. He's smart.
So far. He's like Goldberg a bit more. I didn't like Goldberg
He
last
likes
time.
Drew McIntyre, too, for some reason. So that's like, what?
Well, he looks like me, so it's good.
He also likes The Fiend.
The Fiend is fantastic.
Yeah. He likes a lot of wrestlers. Finn Balor. He likes pretty much everybody.
Yeah, he likes Daniel Bryan.
Daniel Bryan.
Kind of like, yeah, like you said, likes
AJ
everybody.
Styles, you know.
Yeah, he likes the heels. He likes the faces.
Doesn't really care about the OC. Doesn't really care about Anderson and Gallows. He sees them, but he doesn't really pay attention to them.
They're kind of generic looking, so.
I guess so. Maybe that's why they don't catch his eye.
Yeah, too bad.
All right, Johnny, we're going to preview Starrcade.
This year's Starrcade.
2019
Starrcade.
Isn't it sad that the WWE has turned Starrcade into this 1 hour network special on a house show?
Well, we had Starrcade for years. Now we finally get something, so it's better than nothing, right? Starrcade disappeared for so long, so at least they make something out of it, and they bring Ric Flair in for it, so that's kind of neat.
Flair's going to be there?
He usually always is.
His daughter will be on the show. This will be a 1 hour network special airing at 7 p.m. Eastern Time on Sunday night from Duluth, Georgia, WWE Starrcade. 2 matches. The first match will be or maybe the main event. I'm not sure who's main eventing this, but I'd assume that Rusev Bobby Lashley in a last man standing match would be the opener. And then you'd have the main event title match, Fatal 4-Way Tag Team title match, the Kabuki Warriors defending against Becky and Charlotte, Bayley and Sasha, and Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross.
Yeah, I could see that as the main event.
That seems like the main event to me. That's a solid match. Like, both of these matches are good. Both of these matches are pay-per-view level. But it's kind of a house show that they've added 2 matches that they're going to televise. It's not really Starrcade like it was back in the WCW days when it was kind of the WrestleMania, right? Like Starrcade was the WrestleMania of WCW. It was the biggest show of the year.
It was. And for the most part, every time they've brought back Starrcade, the main event has been a steel cage match. So I feel Bray Wyatt, Braun Strowman for the Universal Championship, I think that's going to be the main event.
Well, it's not supposed to be on the card. We're not going to see this match, John. It's not going to be the main event. Well, it might be the main event
that they see
in Duluth, Georgia.
Not on TV,
But who
though.
cares about Duluth, Georgia? I mean, we're not going to get to see the whole Starrcade event, right? Only
Right.
an hour of it is going to be broadcast on the network,
Right.
which is 2 matches. The rest of the card will be just for the live crowd. They'll have The Fiend, Bray Wyatt, defending the Universal title against Braun Strowman in a steel cage, which is cool, but nothing's going to happen. It's a house show, right? No title's going to change. Cool match, though.
It's a cool match. It'd be cool to see, actually.
Roman Reigns against King Corbin.
It is what it is.
Eric Rowan against Seth Rollins.
Huh. That's kind of weird.
Not much there. Sami Zayn defending, or actually Sami Zayn and Shinsuke Nakamura together in a tag team defending the U.S. title against The Miz in a 2-on-1 match.
It's weird.
So they'll definitely win. But I guess Sami does wrestle on house shows here. He's not just in Shinsuke's corner. He's actually advertised to wrestle in a handicap match against The Miz.
Yeah, but I don't think he'll do much, though. I imagine this will mainly be one-on-one and then odd interference here and there.
He's one of the best wrestlers on the roster. Could you explain to me why he's not wrestling?
To prolong his career.
Okay. The New Day will be defending the SmackDown tag titles against the Revival.
Well, that's solid. I can see that, too, also on the 1 hour show.
It's not going to be on the 1 hour show, John. It's a dark match. I'm telling you what's on the 1 hour show. It's 2 matches. It's Rusev versus Bobby Lashley, and it's the Fatal 4-Way for the women's tag team titles. It's Kabuki Warriors versus Becky and Charlotte versus Bayley and Sasha versus Alexa and Nikki Cross. We are not previewing the dark matches for Duluth, Georgia. I refuse to do that. We will only be previewing the 2 matches that will air on the WWE Network as Starrcade, which is Rusev and Lashley and the Fatal 4-Way for the women's tag team titles.
Surprisingly, they're giving away this Rusev-Lashley match on this special event when they've been hyping this for weeks on TV. Yet on this event, you finally get the blow-off match.
TLC is not far off. We got 2 weeks of TV before TLC. So we could see the rematch there easily, right?
Yeah, but they're going to do another kind of gimmick match because they're already doing one here. They're going to do another one? It's a lot.
Why not?
It seems like overkill a bit.
I don't know. Maybe this is where it ends. Like, you got to end it at some point, right? It seems like it should be over. Rusev attack Lashley again on Raw this week,
It was good.
I guess.
Well, it made sense, Rusev was kicked out of the building, so then he shows up, gets arrested.
Yeah. No, that's not why he was arrested. He was arrested because he violated the restraining order that Lana has against him.
But he was kicked out of the building earlier in the night.
Was he?
Yeah.
All right.
They showed him showing up, and he's like, no, you have to leave because of the restraining order.
Okay.
And then he came back anyways, right?
Right.
So.
And he tossed Lashley off the stage. Does this mean Lashley's coming into this match hurt? Selling some injuries? He was stretchered away on Raw. You would think he'd come into this, selling something.
I wouldn't be surprised if you don't see Lashley in this match. He has a replacement because he's not able to compete.
Oh, a little swervy.
Well, that way you don't give away the match, too, on this weird special event that I don't think a lot of people are going to be watching.
So it'll be Rusev versus Drew McIntyre at Starrcade.
I definitely could see that. 100%. You laugh, but it's true.
Well, yeah, I'm not laughing. I'm just, it's funny because I looked up and down the card and I'm like, is Drew booked? Nope. He seems like a suitable replacement.
It's too bad Corbin's already wrestling. I say Corbin would be a great choice, but
He's wrestling Roman.
yeah, it's too bad.
Drew is a perfect replacement. It's going to be Drew and Rusev, probably. I could see Lashley coming up saying he's too hurt to wrestle because of what happened on Raw, because of Rusev, what he did to him.
Right.
Rusev shouldn't even be wrestling. He was arrested 6 days ago. What's he doing here? Right? Which, legit point.
Yeah.
So here's Drew McIntyre to wrestle the match instead. Is it still a last man standing if Drew comes in, or is it just a match?
Yeah, I think it's still last man standing because you agreed to the match that was advertised.
And Rusev wins to set up him and Lashley in 2 weeks at TLC in Minneapolis.
Or loses. I mean, doesn't really need to win, right?
Well, I don't know. Well, I guess. But it would make more sense if he won, because then it'd be like, oh, Rusev, last man standing. He's good at this. He's going to get Lashley revenge. Or he loses, and you're like, oh, Rusev, not good at last man standing. he's not going to get Lashley, and then when he does get Lashley and get the revenge, it's more surprising.
I could see that easily. Just, I don't see McIntyre losing that many matches.
So is this it? Like Lana and Lashley are just together now, and they're going to move on eventually?
Why not?
This doesn't leave Rusev looking very good.
Well, potentially could put Rusev in that number one spot to face Brock Lesnar because there's not a lot of top faces right now to face Brock at the Rumble. If you're hoping for Kevin, that would be kind of disappointing if it's Kevin at the Rumble because then he's not going to go on to WrestleMania.
Okay.
So Rusev would be a great opponent, I think, for January.
So he has to beat Bobby as a setup to take it on Brock in January.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. That's how Rusev wins in this whole situation. He gets a match with Brock that he loses at the Royal Rumble.
Nothing wrong with that. I think that's a great spot.
Okay. And then we forget that this whole thing ever happened. Rusev disappears for a couple of months. Him and Lana come back together after WrestleMania. And we just move on.
Let's remember Lana signed a new contract, right? So Lana's got a future with WWE. Will Rusev? Who knows? He hasn't signed a new contract yet.
What? You think Lana's gonna stay and Rusev's gonna leave?
It could happen. Look what happened with Ambrose, right?
Yeah. There are a lot of WWE AEW couples, right?
It's only two.
Incorrect.
There's three?
Who are you thinking of?
I'm thinking of Adam Cole and Britt Baker.
Britt Baker, who was at NXT and was shown on TV during the NXT TakeOver last week.
She's been shown before. Whatever. Who cares?
Not while she's been under AEW contract.
Okay. Not a big deal.
Interesting. If that were one of Vince's people on an AEW show, they'd be in big trouble.
Yeah, if it was the other way around, but I don't think Cody gives a crap.
Right.
And the other one is Moxley and Renee Young.
What about Sean Spears?
Right, there's that one too.
And Peyton Royce. Did you know that they were married?
They're married, yeah.
Sean Spears, AEW wrestler. Peyton Royce, of course, one half of the Iconics.
Okay.
So there are three that I can come up with. There's probably more.
I don't know if there is more. I mean, there's not a lot of females right now on the AEW roster.
No, but I don't know, a lot of females on the WWE roster. It's possible that somebody else is with somebody in AEW. I don't know.
You never know, but I would think you'd stick more to the company you're with. But
I don't really know these things, but, you see things on Twitter and so on, and you see Britt Baker in the crowd at NXT, and you can't help but notice. Of course, you see CM Punk making jokes about Renee and Jon Moxley on WWE backstage. And we know, I mean, we saw Renee and Jon Moxley together on, like, Total Divas and stuff, right? And they talked about her being Dean Ambrose's husband when he was still with the company. And now, of course, he's not with the company, so it's public knowledge, right?
it's too
The
bad.
Peyton Royce, Sean Spears thing, I don't think people know as much.
Well, who cares, right? It's
Yeah.
not a big deal.
No.
It's like the Batista thing, like whatever Batista's doing. It's just a bunch of stupid
What
stuff.
is Batista doing? Can we get to that? Like, we should finish our Starrcade preview, but we're going to get to Batista in a second, okay? I want to pull up some Batista tweets, because that stuff is crazy. What is going on there?
I'm surprised because I thought Batista would get with Melina because there was a history with them, right? But no, not
Okay.
Melina.
So, Rusev and Lashley, we don't think it's going to happen. We think it's going to be Rusev and Drew, and Rusev will win, I'm saying.
Okay.
You? Drew?
If against Drew he loses, against Lashley he wins.
Okay. Kabuki Warriors versus Becky Lynch and Charlotte versus Bayley and Sasha versus Alexa and Nikki Cross. If we're going to see a title change on this card, it's going to be in this match. Charlotte Flair wrestling on a Starrcade. Of course, the original Starrcade back in Greensboro, North Carolina in November 1983. The 24th of November 1983, a Flair for the gold. Charlotte's father, Ric Flair, defeating Harley Race to become the NWA World's Champion. Gene Kiniski, the legendary Gene Kiniski, was a special guest referee.
That's cool.
1983. And Flair, of course, synonymous with the name Starrcade. Ric Flair went on to main event the next 6 Starrcades.
Pretty much all the 80s.
Yeah. Throughout the 80s, he ran the Starrcades, and even in the 90s. Ric Flair, Starrcade 84, wrestled Dusty Rhodes for the NWA World title. Ric Flair, Starrcade 85, wrestled Dusty Rhodes for the NWA World title.
Let's do it again.
Ric Flair, Starrcade 86, wrestled Nikita Koloff for the NWA World's title.
I remember that one.
Ric Flair, Starrcade 87, wrestled Ronnie Garvin in a steel cage match for the NWA World's title. Ric Flair, Starrcade 88, True Grit, wrestled Lex Luger for the NWA title.
I didn't see that one.
Starrcade 89, the main event, Ric Flair versus Sting. Starrcade 1990, it was Sting for the NWA World's title versus the Black Scorpion, who turned out to be Ric Flair.
It wasn't always Ric Flair. But
It was Ric Flair on that night, brother.
On that night, it was Ric Flair, yes.
And then, let's see, Starrcade 91, the Battle Bowl. It was a Battle Bowl Battle Royal that
Sting won.
Main evented that. Sting wound up winning that thing. Starrcade 92, there was another Battle Bowl. Who won Battle Bowl 92? Was it Sting?
I only saw 91.
The Great Muta.
Wow.
The Great Muta won Battle Bowl 2. And Sting beat Big Van Vader in the King of Cable tournament final. Brother, that sounds like a great event. I want to watch Starrcade 92. I'm going to pull that one up on the WWE Network from Atlanta, GA, December 28th, 1992, Starrcade Battle Bowl Lethal Lottery. I want to watch that.
It's a bit of a mess. I only saw Battle Bowl 91. It's a mess. I mean, it's fun because there's so many superstars on that one show, so many different kind of matches, but it's a bit of a mess of a show.
The Great Muta, and I'm sure JR is doing commentary too.
I think so, yeah.
Ooh, that's money, brother. I'm going to watch that.
It's probably him and...
Just to hear JR say, the Great Muta, I'm into that.
Yeah, it'd be cool, but again, it's a mess of a show.
Starrcade 93, Vader versus, you guessed it, Ric Flair.
That's when Flair was the face, too.
Starrcade 94, Hulk Hogan versus the Butcher, a.k.a. Brutus the Barber Beefcake. Hogan took over in 94.
Well, yeah, Hogan took over everything. And he already beat Flair like 3 times already, so that's why Flair didn't get the main event shot there.
But wait a second. Starrcade 1995, the Macho Man Randy Savage, yeah, against the Nature Boy Ric Flair.
Because Macho won World War III. Not War Games, World War III.
World War III. I love that concept. 3-ring battle royal, 60 men. Fantastic. Should bring that one back. Cody Rhodes, I'm talking to you, brother.
World War III? Why not? Whatever.
Let's do it. Come on. December 1996, Starrcade. Hulk Hogan versus Roddy Piper.
It's just a straight-up singles match, too. It's
Yeah.
Whatever. It's not even for the title.
This is my favorite. This was the big one for me growing up, if you're a kid of the 90s, you know?
It's popular. I don't know if it's my favorite.
Well, it's the one that comes to mind as like big Starrcade main events.
It's the biggest ever, Starrcade.
Hulk Hogan versus Sting, Starrcade 1997 for the WCW World title. That was massive. Sting was in the rafters with his baseball bat pointing at Hulk Hogan and the NWO for what felt like a year.
It was a year.
It was a year.
Yeah.
And finally, he came back and he wrestled Hulk Hogan in this match. It didn't turn out. Bret Hart was there as the referee. It was kind of a mess. But in the end, it was the biggest show maybe WCW ever made. Right?
I think so. Most hype show ever, I think.
It was their biggest event ever. Starrcade 1997. And that's why I kind of think now WWE does these weird Starrcade events. And it's like, man, this was like the biggest show of the year for WCW, and now it's just some jabroni house show.
It's more of a tribute just to be like, you know, we respect the fact that Ric Flair made this event a big deal, and that's about it.
Just a salute to the Nature Boy.
That's all it is.
And the state of Georgia.
It's more of a salute to what Starrcade was.
Yeah. Starrcade 98, Goldberg versus Kevin Nash, of course.
That was famous because the cattle prod.
Yeah, that was when Goldberg finally lost.
Yep, the streak ended.
The streak ended at Starrcade 98. Bret Hart versus Goldberg, Starrcade 99. I really don't remember that.
Well, that's when Bret got concussed.
Oh, that was the end.
That was the end of Bret Hart. So
Oh.
yeah, that was terrible actually.
Scott Steiner versus Sid Vicious wrestled in the final real Starrcade for the WCW World Title in December of 2000.
Yeah, I didn't watch it. I wasn't really big into that Starrcade.
WCW was over by that point.
Not over, but there wasn't some good shows.
It was bought like a few months later. It was over. This is December 2000. WCW was bought in, what, 2001? What month?
I want to say maybe March or May.
There you go.
Yeah, okay, sure. It was going downhill. It's too bad.
It was pretty much done. Steiner and Vicious wrestled the last real Starrcade. WWE brought it back in Greensboro, North Carolina in 2017. AJ Styles wrestled Jinder Mahal in a steel cage match for the WWE title in the main event of that one. And then in 2018, it was in Cincinnati, Ohio for some unknown reason. And AJ Styles wrestled Samoa Joe in a steel cage match for the main event.
Because AJ lost the WWE title right before Starrcade, if I remember correctly. He lost to Daniel Bryan. That's why it was not a title match.
Okay. And I think they showed more matches last year.
I feel like there was like at least 3.
It was 4.
Okay.
They did AJ Styles, Samoa Joe. They did Ray and Rusev versus Miz and Shinsuke. And then they did Ray versus Shinsuke by DQ, which turned into a tag team match.
Wasn't there like
right?
a huge mess up too? Like I want to say it was maybe an Elias's match that they showed. Somebody I think it was Elias versus Finn Balor.
I don't think that was a Starrcade. I think that was something else.
Okay, it was a special event though.
Because he's not booked on this one. They had Bailey, Dana, Ember, Sasha versus Alicia, Mickey, Nia, and Tamina. Just those 4 people. Like, how many of them are around on this year's Starrcade? How many of them are still around the WWE currently? Where's Mickie James? Where's Alicia Fox? Ember Moon is injured. Nia Jax is, I guess, injured. Tamina is whatever. I don't know.
Alicia Fox has like an addiction problem, she admitted.
Yeah, but I thought but she's just not with WWE anymore.
Well, I think
this is post WWE.
This is probably better for her that she's not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So WWE does these weirdo versions of Starrcade. This one on Sunday in Duluth, Georgia. I don't think there's going to be a title change, though. I think the Kabuki Warriors retain the titles. Right?
Well, again, not a lot of people are watching this. They didn't really hype this well at all on WWE TV, so I don't see any title changes. The fact that you're getting this match at all, you're lucky.
I didn't know it was happening until Survivor Series when they're like, next week, Starrcade. I'm like, what's Starrcade? What are you talking about?
And they didn't hype the matches really that much, so.
It's an hour-long special. That's it.
I wouldn't be too excited for it.
I see Freddie on the chat. He's talking about Starrcade. He loves Starrcade. He likes Battle Bowl, too. He wants them to bring that back.
Battle Bowl was a mess. I mean, the concept was cool, but it always turned out terrible in the end.
Can we get to Batista?
What about Batista? What do you want to talk about?
Well, like, what's going on with him and Dana Brooke?
Well, I guess he's flirting with her on Twitter, I guess.
On Twitter, in a very public way.
Well, he's single again, right? I didn't realize he was with somebody. That's nice to know.
I mean, I don't need to know Batista's personal affairs.
Well, he's letting you know.
But I'm finding out because...
he doesn't walk alone.
Yeah, I'm trying to find Batista's Twitter. Where's Batista's Twitter at? What's Batista's Twitter handle, man?
It's definitely there. It's Dave Batista, I'm pretty sure, isn't it?
At Dave Batista?
Almost positive. There you go. You found it.
Oh, okay.
It wasn't hard.
There's just a picture of a baseball guy on his profile, and I'm like, oh, that can't be the same Dave Batista. But it is. It's just Dave Batista. I guess he threw out a first pitch. He's like in a baseball uniform on his Twitter profile.
Looks good, actually.
What do you mean?
Looks cool like that. Like,
you like this Twitter profile picture for Batista?
Yeah, I think that's cool.
Looks like a baseball man. Bautista. What uniform is that? What is that, St. Louis? Philadelphia?
Yeah,
Cincinnati? One of those. It's hard to tell.
Philly or
Cincinnati. Oh, you know what? It could be Washington.
No.
No?
It probably is Washington because he's from Washington.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's probably Washington, D.C. because that's where he's from.
Arg.
Dave Batista loves the Washington Nationals. So the animal Batista is quite an animal. on Twitter, and like, what is going on? Batista and Dana Brooke are like really going hard on each other.
Not really. I wouldn't say hard.
I don't know, man. They're like flirting on Twitter. It's like really strange what's going on. I don't know what prompted this from Batista, but him and Dana Brooke have something going on Twitter.
Well, it gives her something to do and gives him something to do. So, if they're going to be happy together, that's cool. I think it might just all be talk, too. I don't know if they're actually serious.
Should we go through some of this stuff? It's weird.
Sure. Go from the beginning.
Do I have to?
Why not?
I can't find the beginning. Here we go.
So he's showing off.
Oh, man. There's a lot. There's like a lot of these. So is this where it started? Let's see here. Is this where it started?
Highly doubtful.
I think. Well, this is where I saw it. Dana
Okay.
Brooke, sup. Right? Batista's tweeting to Dana Brooke, right?
Uh-huh.
And then she replied.
Replied a lot.
Oh, not much. Right? She's into it. She likes it. What's going on here? And then Batista gets real greasy. He's talking about her butt, and he's showing a picture where he looks nude.
Not his dick, though. He didn't.
Well,
Seth
no,
Rollins
thank God. I mean, you can't do that. And now here Dana's like, coming back with a picture of her own butt. And whatever. And then
Always
Batista,
handy those videos.
Batista showing off his own gym. He's got squat racks. He's asking her if she's ever done any jiu-jitsu. He can't spell jiu-jitsu properly. It's J-I-U. J-I-T-S-U. Good job, Batista. Somebody gave you a black belt but didn't teach you how to spell jiu-jitsu, brother. Dana's into it. Sounds like a date. Da-da-da. A couple of things in the ring. Send my number via DM. We can text. Da-da-da-da-da.
Of course, we had to hear about this, or see this.
And then Batista's super into it. Right? Yeah, and we're seeing all of this.
They couldn't have just DM'd this whole thing if they were serious about it. See, I think it's just a joke.
Is it? Are they working? Like, I don't understand what the work is. Like, what's the story here? Why is this happening? It's been going on. People on Twitter are talking about it. Batista's tweeting to Dana Brooke a lot. I happen to follow them both on Twitter for some reason, but I'm going to unfollow both of them because they are lewd and gross.
Well, I think you went through this spree of like, oh, it's cool, it's wrestlers, I'll just follow them spree, I think.
I guess. Oh, wait. I don't follow Batista. Look at that. See, it says follow. See, it doesn't say following because I don't follow Batista.
I guess you don't deal with it.
I thought I did follow Batista. I guess I just follow Dana Brooke.
That makes sense because she retweeted you.
Oh, yeah. Was that it?
Well, that's my guess. I don't know.
Yeah. There was like a whole Dana Brooke thing. She was retweeting me, saying something about her at one point.
Because you said something nice for once.
Oh, yeah. Oh, she was over or something, right?
Well, she wrestled in Montreal.
And she was over with the crowd.
Well, you saw it. I didn't see it. I missed the match, so.
And she liked that, so she retweeted it, I guess. I don't know.
And then you liked that.
I don't know. Maybe that's why I follow Dana Brooke. I don't know why. I thought I followed Batista. Maybe I don't follow either of them, and I've been seeing this through other means with people retweeting it or whatever. I'm not even sure. I thought I followed Batista. Turns out I don't.
Well, with Batista.
And I'm not going to start now because I was just threatening to unfollow Batista because of all these lewd photos he's posting. I don't want to see semi-nude Batista on my Twitter. It's not what I'm on Twitter for.
No dick pics, at least. As long as he keeps those.
Although
clean.
it would answer the age-old question, how big is Batista's penis?
Yeah,
a lot of wrestlers and people in wrestling ask that question for some reason, and I don't know why.
I've never asked that question.
Well, you've heard of people talk about it, right?
Yeah, it's a weird thing to ask.
I don't get it. I don't know where that came from either.
I don't know.
On that note, let's end the show.
Yeah, sure. Unless there's any more comments.
No, let's end the show on Batista's penis.
Fred doesn't want to talk about.
Fred likes Battle Bowl, whatever it was. Fred doesn't want to talk about Batista's penis. No one wants to talk about Batista's penis, although some people do. Not us. Show's over. All right, that's how we end it. watch Wrestling Uncensored. We're going to be talking about the WWE on that, right? WWE, AEW. Can I say I thought AEW Dynamite this week was weird?
I thought it was pretty good.
I didn't think it was that good.
Okay, I thought the Jericho thing was fantastic. My
It was good.
goodness. That was amazing.
It was good. There were some other parts, though, that we're going to get to that I thought were a little iffy.
Well, it's always like that, though.
Not always. Dark was a mess, too, last week.
Dark is always like that, too. Dark
That
is like they're
women's
just
match, what happened?
they're just trying stuff on Dark. You know, it's like, well, this doesn't fit anywhere, so we just put it there.
So it was like Big Swole versus Shanna?
Yeah.
So Shanna has this video package where she's like a babyface, no one wanted her, and here's AEW giving her this opportunity, and she's an underdog, and here she is getting her shot. Babyface.
Yep.
Big Swole has a promo. She's like, I don't care about you. I have my own issues. I've had hard times too. You know, whatever. No one cares about you, Shanna.
Kind of egotistical.
Kind of a heel promo.
I thought so.
Then she comes out and she starts slapping hands with everybody in the crowd.
Right.
Is Big Swole a babyface or a heel? It was a heel promo, and then she comes out with a babyface entrance. That was weird. And then on commentary, they're like, oh, this match is going to be way more competitive than that Awesome Kong beating of whoever Awesome Kong beat up.
Leva Bates.
Leva Bates.
And it was.
Which hadn't happened yet on Dark.
But for them, it did, and they screwed the order up.
Yeah, well, for them it did, but I'm watching this. I'm like, wait a second. Did I miss something? Did I miss Awesome Kong? Because that was one of the reasons I was tuning into Dark, to see Awesome Kong's first match in AEW, and they spoiled it on the show before it aired on the show, on the actual broadcast of Dark. I guess the match, you know, they don't air the matches in sequence, right? So the Awesome Kong match happened before this other women's match, but on commentary, they're like, oh, that Awesome Kong beating of Leva Bates was not competitive. This match is going to be way more competitive. And I'm like, what? And then after that, they're like, oh, here comes Awesome Kong versus Leva Bates. And you're like, what? Not good. Like, that was sloppy.
Well, what was mainly sloppy was the fact that they go to instant replay, and you don't see the video of the instant replay. You hear the audio. So, and they did that the whole night. So that kind of was really crummy. I think just the production of the whole Dark, they just kind of failed it, unfortunately.
If AEW fails, this will be the week everything went wrong.
I don't think so. Jericho started and end the show. You can't go wrong with that.
Jericho Moxley, though?
Okay, that's future, though. That's not what you saw. You saw Scorpio Sky, which I thought was a good match.
What's a Butcher? What's the Blade? Like, who are those guys?
Oh, the tag team. Well, one of them's from Impact. One of them's Ali's husband. What's his name? Sutter?
Oh, Braxton Sutter.
Yeah, one of them's that guy.
Okay.
I don't know who the other guy is, but whatever. Like, okay, I get it. They're the Impact leftovers. What? It's not true? Like,
well, yeah, but
it's what it is.
It's not great.
I'm not saying it's great, but this is what you have. Like, and Cody brought them in, obviously, because Cody is going to be involved with them.
Yeah.
They need more tag teams.
I don't know. I've heard things. People like them. They wrestle a lot in Ontario, and people like them. I've heard
good things, yeah. I'd give them a shot. I wouldn't bury it right away.
No, I'm not saying that they're terrible. I'm just saying, like, they showed up, and it was supposed to be like, oh, my God. And then the crowd was like, who?
Well, of course, but they're the same way with the Dark Order. We know who the Dark Order was, but they didn't. Now people are starting to understand who they are.
Yeah, but the Dark Order didn't debut as, like, a shock surprise. Like, you know what I mean?
They did actually debut as a shock surprise, yeah.
When?
They interfered on a tag match out of nowhere and just laid out everybody. And the crowd chanted, like, who the F are you?
Right.
So it was the same thing practically.
And it didn't really work for the Dark Order. Look at what they're doing now. They're trying to repackage and reboot them with these video packages that they're airing. It didn't work.
It didn't work. But I think with Cody, I don't know, everything with Cody seems to be working so far. You can't go wrong with Cody or Jericho, it seems.
I guess that's what they figure too.
I think it's sound thinking.
All right. Well, happy Thanksgiving to all our U.S. viewers.
Oh, I'm glad you did that. You didn't do that yesterday. I was like, well, what's your problem?
I forgot, man. Sorry, okay? I'm in Canada. I don't remember that it's Thanksgiving in the States. It's not a holiday I celebrate. I'm not American.
No, but it's a holiday for them, and that's why there's no ratings out yet.
Oh, for the wrestling shows?
Right.
Oh, okay, cool. Well, happy Thanksgiving, happy Black Friday, happy Cyber Monday. We love you all. Thank you for watching Dave and Johnny Live.
Be safe.
Be safe and enjoy the turkey and the football and all the other things that you enjoy, right? Right?
Football's over, but yeah, enjoy the rest.
Enjoy the shopping and the Black Friday. We love you all. We'll see you later.
Well, I don't love you all, but, some of you.
Most of you we love. Bye-bye.